Welcome back, everybody, to this episode of PDH Mission Monday. I am yours, Kurt Roskoff, your ambassador here at Project iHeart. And we're going to have a very exciting episode today. It's going to have a lot of insight. And as usual, we're going to be doing an update with our president, Brian Gibson, and then he'll be going through a little process of community partners. So, to further make sure we're catching all of our audience here and starting at square one, Project iHeart is a veteran service organization devoted to attend to the issue that one life is too many. Losing one veteran is too much. And when you look at the statistics, it is quite frankly out of control. We have not found the solution to bring the trend of veteran suicides down. So we are coming into this spreading hope to veterans. And we are proud to have our forward operating base Rush in McCann, Illinois. And we have other developments in place for an additional location, so on and so forth. So a lot to report to you today. This is going to be a worthwhile episode. We appreciate all of your support and tuning in, and we are heading in the right direction for sure. So to that point of the right direction, I feel that I, as an ambassador, get the right direction from our president, Brian Gibson. Brian Gibson, come on in here and let's take it away with the update.
Oh, hey, Kurt. I'm just going to say, you look a little different than Susan, but I understand Susan's tied up today. Hey, folks, Die Hard 6 here. First and foremost, thank you and God bless for all you do for this mission, because this is so important. Yep, we're going to go over some things today. So, you know me and my little slide deck. We're going to share from here to here. Bring that on. There you go. First and foremost, I speak it every week. Teamwork makes the dream work. This is on our social media right now. We need more volunteers. And I know it's a little rough, but you don't tell us what you could do. Show us what you can do. Remember, God will never leave the mission. Veteran suffering will not be used to grow the mission. And there's no drugs or alcohol allowed in the mission. Our next big thing is the annual fundraiser, the Fill the Can Challenge. New for 2024, virtual cans. That means you do not have to have a physical can on your desk. You can do it virtually. The more participants we get, the more funding we get, the faster Fob Rush gets up and running. So tell all your friends, email fillthecan@projectdiehard.org by May 10th to get registered and to get the rules. That leads me to the need for volunteers again, because the Fill the Can has grown so much that we can no longer run around and drop off cans. So, by the grace of the mayor of Metropolis, Illinois, we get to use their community center at 900 West 10th Street, Metropolis, Illinois, May 26th, 2024. Come and thank our participants and pray for the blessing of this annual event, for the resources to bring hope to veterans and grow the kingdom. You're going to meet our resource partners and our ministry partners who help us with this mission. All right, now I'm going to transfer into our community support programs. The team's been working hard to get this all laid out. We now got it all laid out. Remember, find us on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Got to do a quick shout out here to David, brother I just met the other day, who's watching us. All right. So the question I always ask my people, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time, right? Our community support members help us take a bigger bite out of this elephant of this mission. Each member brings their skills, programs, services, products that helps our facilities and our outreach programs grow. This is so important. Our ministry partners, they pray for and share our mission. They inform their people of our needs. And together we are planting mustard seeds, growing the kingdom. We have WBGL.org and Global Vision Bible Church, Pastor Locke. But you see, we got a lot of empty space, so we need as many more of these partners as we can get. Our resource partners, they share our mission and resources. They bring their programs to our facilities. Because remember, no one organization can do it all. Our mission suppliers, they supply the mission with products and services at the best price, and they share their support. Here locally, we have Supply Solutions, PFGW, Architectures, Chase Motorsports. You like our website, Blue Dragonfly, and we just brought on last week Lone Oak Trophy and Signs. What a blessing. But again, a lot of empty space. Our facility suppliers, they directly supply our facilities. They directly touch a veteran's life. We have the Cabin Connection out of Paducah, Kentucky. Third Day Coffee out of Seguin, Texas. Maxwell Soaps out of Houston, Texas. Hughes Market and Meat Processing out of Paducah, Kentucky. And Jasper's and Friends. Big news coming out of there next week. You'll see it on the Facebook and all the social medias. Our Club 22 members, they help grow the mission. On the 22nd of the month, providing our followers with great food and giving back to the mission. When you go to these participating partners on the 22nd of the month and you say, I'm here because Project Die Hard sent me, hey, you get good food, good service, and we get to grow the mission. We have the Firehouse Subs in Paducah, Kentucky. We're working on the corporate. We have J-Mac down in Marshall County. Popeye is out of Chicago. M. Fogate is out of Chicago. Again, this is just one way for people to help. Teamwork makes the dream work. I've been saying that from day one. We work with the blessings we receive. And we assist those who join our team the best we can. They will grow as our mission does, using the tools and talents of our volunteers. Do you believe veterans deserve more? And you think, hey, I might want to join this team, email ambassador@projectdiehard.org. Well, in a nutshell, that's the mission update. And I hope I explained our community support programs well enough. I'm sure my marketing department will watch this and send me critiques for the next time I do it. But with that, I understand Kurt and Susan did some work this week, and we got a very special guest coming in.
Yes, we do. And we're going to do a build up to this special guest. Brian, you and I met through the Happy Neighborhood Project, the happiest place in the world for business people. And I want to bring in a sweet lady that has our mission in mind. And she does another show of her own called The World of Pets. And this is Debbie Hayes. And so today's show is an example of how, if you really have at the front of mind our veterans, and if you really are ready with our contact information and reach us, like for volunteering, Brian put on the screen ambassadors. I'm an ambassador, so I will be one of them that will be receiving that email. But I'm going to bring in Debbie Hayes with Deb's Pets. She's been on our show before, talking to Brian and Sue in the past. And, you know, my wife Sue is not here. When I met my wife Sue, you know, I was introduced to her at one point with a group. She went by Smiling Sue. So I think, you know, Debbie brings a smile to the show. And the featured guest today, definitely is all about bringing a smile to everyone. And we give good credit to Debbie because Debbie is a great friend of Project iHeart, and she orchestrated, you know, all of the steps, reaching out to Sue and me, and we huddled and we talked and we sorted it out. And then I brought it to Brian, and then we got with our friend that we're going to be bringing on here, and it's going to be something that's going to carry excitement for sure for the next 8 months. And you'll figure out why I say 8 months when we bring in our guests. But Debbie, I want you to help me set the stage because you brought this gentleman to me, another H&P connection. Our friend Kathy Weaver was kind of in the midst of some of the activities we did with this gentleman. But do you want to give a little bit of background to our friend that we're going to bring on here and feature?
Yeah. Oh, you got to be challenged now because I've got to do it without saying too much, huh?
You can say as much as you want. Say as much as you want. Lay it out there. Our audience is tuning in. Hey, everybody, share this out.
I don't want people to know.
Yep.
But I don't want people to know in advance who it is.
Okay. All right.
So I was doing a one-to-one. I was doing a one-to-one with this individual. And I was like, okay, how can I help promote what he does? And usually with Project diehard, I'm out here in Arizona, but at the end of the pet podcast, I'll always try to put in a plug for Project diehard and for anything else I do on social media or whatever. So he does videos for birthdays or, you know, whatever you want him to do a video for, and just to make people smile and make them happy. And I thought, well, that would be a great thing for the breakfast. And my original idea was to, if he had something that we could use as like a giveaway at the breakfast, that maybe have a drawing and one person would win this special thing. But then when Brian got the message, Brian was like, well, instead of doing that, we'll promote him and he'll promote us, and we can get a lot of exposure for Project diehard that way. So that's what we ended up with. I think I'm telling it right. If I'm not, Brian, you and Kurt can.
I'm going to say,
Brian's giving the okay sign.
I'm going to say this. You know, our facilities will provide transitional housing for veterans with their families.
Yes.
Families have children. right? So,
Yes.
you see why I was thinking that way, Debbie?
Hmm.
So,
Yep.
I'll drop a dime, you know that, in a heartbeat, but I think we need to bring this guest in.
I think it's that time also.
Yeah, I'll
I
say
think
this.
bring him
This
in, Kurt.
Yep, this gentleman is from a little bit north of us. Here he comes.
Ho,
Welcome,
ho, ho, ho,
Santa.
ho!
Yay, Santa.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and how are we doing on this fine day?
Very good, very good. I read from some of the communications
Good.
we had, Santa, that there's a school for you. I understand.
There sure
All
is.
right.
You know, it's like any other job. You got to go to training so that you can do your job better. And we're not perfect. We strive to try our best, just like the mission does. We're striving to increase visibility. We're striving to increase the awareness of this unforeseen predicament that a lot of our fellow veterans, I can't say fellow, but you know, I'm very proud to be a part of this. If I'm officially labeled to be part of the group, that I'm going to be proud to promote this wonderful organization because there is a definite need for an organization like this to help our fellow veterans out.
Absolutely, absolutely. So part of what's in the works here is for Project Die Hard to take the steps and figure out what we can do with Santa here and work towards being Santa approved. So I don't know, Santa, if we're kind of on edge, waiting to see if or if there's any announcement about that today. But that's what it's all about. So tell us more about the program, Santa. Like, what is this thing about? Are you Santa approved? What is that all about?
Well, it's a new little project that I come up with, and I'll tell you a little bit about the background, ladies and gentlemen. I've been Santa now for, well, officially 1753, but we all know I'm answering to a higher power times two. But I have been filling the shoes and doing my best for 6.5 years, going into my seventh year. And I'm a truck driver by trade. I've done 3 million miles in a big truck. And I'll tell you, this is way more fun. It's making people smile is such an amazing concept. And we all know there's families out there and people out there that, don't even have a reason to smile. Well, I've been doing this and I thought, it's real. It don't come off. So I can't disguise it. So I might as well utilize it. So I started talking to my wife and thinking about different ways. Well, I do one of a kind happy birthday videos and I do one of a kind Santa check in videos. We all know we've had the children every now and then where they've been misbehaving, and we all do our best to, not lose our temperature and, temper on our children. But maybe Santa might need to step in and do a little bit of encouragement for the children to help mom and dad maybe ease over some of the ruffled feathers with children. So that's what I do. And I started this new, it's the exact same scenario as this, Brian and Kurt. I was sitting around talking with some fellow people in a networking session, and they said, we've all done business with you, Santa, and we need to come up with a way to, that Santa likes us, that Santa wants to do business with us. And, the chat was just going around, and suddenly somebody said something like Santa needs to approve us. And I went, hold it. What if we say Santa approved? Is your business Santa approved? And that exploded the fireworks. And I went and talked to my wife, and she loved the idea. So then, of course, had to phone the granddaughter up and say, Granddaughter, Grandpa's got a problem, but you got a solution to the problem. Now, that's Kurt, in business, and Brian, as well. Every time you make a phone call, you're phoning for a reason because you have a problem and someone at the other end has a solution. It might not be the best solution sometimes, but there's a problem and there's a solution usually for every phone call or every meeting or every hello, every thank you. Well, I phoned the granddaughter up and I said, she just finished graduating art school and now she's doing websites and she's the art major and she's got a little more brains than grandpa does when it comes to designing things. Absolutely. And I said, here's my idea. Grandma threw in a couple suggestions and I said, I wanted to say Santa approved. And I said, here's some pictures. You design it. And this is what she's come up with. And everybody loves the idea. And it's a very simple procedure to get Santa proof. But there are some guidelines because, Santa doesn't want to be involved with, guns or alcohol or cigarettes or, some of the other things that are happening in our society that people think it's okay. But Santa doesn't think it's okay because Santa has some higher standards that we want to adhere to. So, it's a fun little unique idea and people are loving it because it's unique and it's so special, but yet it's simple, but yet Santa has the higher power, and Santa is the number one promoted character in the world. Who wouldn't want Santa to promote their company or organization or business or something that way? So that's where I am with this Are You Santa approved idea. And it's growing by leaps and bounds, and I'm having fun with it. And people are very encouraged because they want to be involved with Santa, especially the people that love Santa or love the idea of Christmas. They have that Christmas spirit in them all the time. Who wouldn't want to be involved with Santa? So I know,
That's
Kurt,
right.
I can see the wheels are turning already. You have a question, and Brian has a couple questions. Debbie and I have spoke a couple times already, but I know Brian has a question, and so does Kurt. So, who's going first? I'm up for some questions. Lay it on me.
Kurt, I'll let you go first.
All right. Well, with Debbie here, I think of reindeer. So have we gotten that far yet? Is Deb's Pets helping the reindeer yet? I'm just kind of giving this a little spin here. Or is this a new conversation?
Here's
Not
one
yet,
for
Kurt,
you.
not yet.
Here's one for all three of us that I bet you didn't know. Is it a male or a female that pulls the sleigh at Christmas time with that amazing rack on their head?
It's got to be a
Brian?
male, right?
No, it's going to be a female.
Got to be a male.
Male, right?
The normal wildlife scenario is the male keeps the rack, but the
Oh,
reindeer
okay.
are the opposite. Reindeer, male and female, both have horns, but the males lose their horns. So in all the pictures and all the movies, the reindeer have a rack. So that means they're all female.
Oh, well,
I knew
look at
that.
that.
You guys
I'm
didn't?
2 years old and I finally learned that. Wow. Thanks, Santa.
I knew that. You guys didn't know that?
I did not know. I just presumed, like you
No.
said, for
Reindeer.
the rest of nature.
You're
Yeah.
thinking deer. No, these are
I got
reindeer.
to say, women rule. Woohoo!
There you go.
Way to go. All right, Brian, you want to pop out a question for Santa?
Well, I'm just going to say this. I know our mission will get Santa approved because from day one, we've been upfront, honest, and, but folks, wouldn't it be great if Santa could come to Fob Rush this Christmas? Wouldn't that be excellent? But the problem is, we got to get Fob Rush completed.
Uh-huh.
There's a lot of work to be done. Hence, volunteer. Hence, become that monthly patron, that $22 a month patron. Because you can see through our support programs, we got the team in place, we got the land, and they all do what their part is. They all do what they can do. And I'm grateful for it. But we need everybody to step up. Because that's my only thing is, look, Santa is invited to every event, every facility that Project I Heart does and has. I don't have a question. Boom, hey, he's invited.
There you go. And to tell you the truth, Santa likes pancakes.
All right. This will
Besides
work out.
chocolate chip cookies,
I have a question,
Yes,
Brian.
Debbie.
Oh, yes, ma'am.
This is unrelated to Santa, but so are the plans already drawn for the building? It's just the construction of the building that's
it. We got the
Okay.
blueprint.
Mhm.
We got the site layout. We know where every building is going and everything at Forward Operating Base Rush. Okay.
Excellent.
The pond. That's a 3-acre pond. Stocked with fish. Problem is the dam leaks.
Not a good scenario.
Not a good scenario. We have a great veteran-owned company willing to come do the work, giving up all of their profit. But you know what it takes to bring in heavy machinery? Fuel. He has to pay his guys to come do the work.
Water pumps.
Mm-hmm. That's why we need as much help as we can get. Things like this. I'll put it out there again. If you are a veteran nonprofit organization or a ministry and you want to use our facilities to help bring hope to veterans, reach out. I personally will never ask you for a dime. I can't tell you what my bean counters will do, but I can say, hey, I won't ask you. But together,
you do rent out can you tell people what facilities other than the pond you have right now so people know if there's new
day
listeners?
Room, we have a fully functional kitchen. We have a room where people can break bread. We have a gazebo. Summertime's coming up. We got a grill, a griddle.
Oh.
That's all there. Plus, we got 20 acres to go and explore. Now, I got to warn you, though, if you're going to go explore, I'm going to put a chainsaw in your hand so you can start clearing trails again. I'm not going to lie. Hey. Back in the back 20. You want to explore the back 20? Cool. We got 3 bridges that need built to cross the streams. Everybody says, why do you need bridges? Well, some veterans will come in a wheelchair. We need a good bridge to cross the stream.
Absolutely.
Right.
That sounds like a photo and video op, Santa doing some chainsawing.
Oh,
That'd be something. No.
Could be rather interesting, I think. it, it, if my hand would allow it, then I might be able to do something about it. And I'm sure Mrs. Claus would be up for a road trip as well one day, because it's really not that far. I believe the property. I think, Kurt, you explained to me it's between Milwaukee and Chicago on the Illinois side, correct?
No, it's way south of there.
Oh,
Yeah,
it's way south.
We're in southern Illinois.
Oh, in
Yeah.
southern Illinois. Okay.
Yep, southern Illinois. We're about 4.5 hours from Chicago to the
Okay.
south.
Oh, okay. So that's a little bit longer of a road trip, but the sleigh could fire up, and depending on how the reindeer feel, that wouldn't be that long of a trip at all.
There you
Well,
go.
again, we invite anybody who would like a tour of Forward Operating Base Rush to reach out. Reach out. I've been trying to get Kurt and Susan down to File Rush for 2 years now.
And you're a lot closer to me than me, Kurt.
They've seen.
Well, if you make it down there, that you might be the one to get us down there. Because talking about photo ops, I'm picturing a photo op with me on your lap, and I can tell you what I want for Christmas.
How about on my knee instead of my lap? Because I can see where your naughty brain cell is going with that right now. And Brian is shaking his head, going, "This is one of the guys that is my ambassador, and this is the way he's thinking."
No.
He might get thrown into the creek, Brian, without the old proverbial paddle.
Kurt,
that'd create a video. We'll have to journalize that episode.
Kurt brings to this mission his special skills. Okay? That's like any other volunteer that comes to this mission. Everybody has their skill, their voice, their things. This is teamwork in action.
Absolutely. The teamwork makes big work small things. And the more people you have, it's like my elves. When I say we've got to make 1,000 new toys by tomorrow, do you think there's 5 of them that volunteer? No, there's 500 of them that volunteer, and they get it done work rather quickly, and more better yet, it's efficiently. And that's the key to building a successful production plant, building, whatever. And if you get 500 people, even 50, things are going to start taking shape rather quickly.
Oh, brother, I've been preaching from day one. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Absolutely.
And together, everyone accomplishes more.
Absolutely.
Yes, you heard in the brief. God will never leave this mission.
Yep.
The suffering of veterans will never be used to grow the mission. And there's no drugs, no alcohol allowed in the mission.
Nope.
If people can work with those 3 guidelines, join the team, right? If you have an idea to make this organization bigger and better, run it up the flagpole, as we used to say in the Army. But I got to warn you, if me and the leadership team go, hey, this is a good idea, we're going to reach right back out to you and say, okay, what do you need to accomplish it? Because you brought the idea, you got to make it grow. Kurt does and Susan does what they can, but they got their full-time lives. So they do their little bit, and Debbie does her little bit. And if everybody does their little bit, this mission will explode. And a facility will go into every state.
Absolutely. And, even though, our government might forget and not give as much as they should be to our veterans, organizations like this are very important because they're not only run by veterans, they look after veterans and they will never forget the veterans.
Brother, I talked about it last week, but I'll reiterate it for it. Look, when you come to Project Diehard, there's two avenues you can chase. You can go for a paid position, right? Because our facilities are going to have to run 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right? So we're going to have to hire people. Or you can go to a leadership position where you're making the decision on a veteran's life, taking the ideas of our volunteers and our stuff and developing them and tweaking them and making them the best they can, and then implementing plans and policies. But I don't take a salary. No leadership will take a salary. If you make a decision on a veteran's life, you cannot have money be involved. We're dealing with we're dealing with human life. What does it cost to save a veteran's life? I don't know, and I don't care. But I will do everything in my power and my resources to help a brother or sister.
And Brian, it can be as little, and you know this as well as I do, it can be as little as, hey, I've got an ear for you. Anytime you're down and out and you're feeling crappy and you need someone to talk to, somebody talking is better than pulling a trigger.
Pulling a trigger, overdosing,
Or
getting so drunk they forget that they're driving an F-450 and they aim for the biggest oak tree. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Again, brother, this is the mission is simple.
I'm fairly big on TikTok, and I had a young soldier reach out to me. He's done 4 missions, signed up for the 5th one, and he's not even 25 years old yet. And he couldn't speak to mom and dad because his brain cells he was functioning okay. He was walking and talking and acting okay, but he just didn't have the heart to say what he wanted to his family because he had seen, and Brian, where I'm going with this, he had seen some nasty things that screws up the brain cells bad enough that you can't sometimes live with what you've seen. So this young man reached out to me through my TikTok, and he said, can you make me a video to say the words that I want to say to my family that I cannot say? Because he didn't have the heart and he didn't have the guts to look him straight in the eye and say the words that he wanted to say. He could write them down, but he couldn't say them. So he wrote them down, sent them to me, and I made him a video so that I could say the words to his family that he wanted to say.
And sometimes, brother, that's what I do.
Yep.
When a brother or sister can't explain their feelings
Yep.
to their loved ones, right?
Yep.
There's times I talk to mothers and fathers and say, look, this is what your son and or daughter is going through right now.
Yep.
They've talked with me. They love you. They don't want to see you hurt. But they don't understand why you don't understand.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Okay. This is why veterans are veterans. We're a different breed.
Oh.
right? We can talk to each other all day long about some of the most horrific things we have seen to each other. Why? Because we've all been there. I tell them, look, brother, been there more than once, more than 10 times. Seen it, done it. I almost became that number. When I had a 45 in my mouth, then God saved my life.
Amen.
Hence, folks, this is why God will never leave the mission. Don't ever ask. I've already turned down $2 million.
And another thing, Brian, is a lot of people need to reach out to somebody. And, you know, sometimes, like this young gentleman that I talked to, I said, have you gone and seen the psychologist yet? And he says, my appointment is not for 5 months. I said, not
yeah.
acceptable. I said to him, and you just said it. I said, my phone is available anytime you want. And I said, I would rather talk to you at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning and listen to you spill your guts or whatever you're thinking of doing than the alternative. And
All right.
And I'm saying it live on yours right now. My phone will be available to any of your veterans. If Brian's not available, if Kurt's not available, if Debbie's not available, I will be happy to put my phone number on your mission and say they can call me as well.
Again, Santa, thank you. God bless. But this brings me into part of the conversation we are going to have tomorrow.
Yep.
At 1400 hours.
Correct, sir.
Okay. Every day on our social media feeds, Monday through Friday, it has a purpose. Monday is Motivation Monday. If you have anybody you know of that wants to put a 30-second video giving a message of hope to veterans, reach out. We'll play it. Tuesday is Touching Tuesday. Check your vet. Touching Tuesday, which means you email, you text, you touch a veteran in your life. Just to say, hey, how are you? Or, hey, you're ugly. But touch your vet. Wacky Wednesday. I'm still looking for somebody to take over Wacky Wednesday because I am not wacky. Just get it straight. I'm not that guy.
It all depends on who you talk to.
Yeah, true. Then we have Thankful Thursday, where we say what we are thankful for. We highlight our community members. We say thank you and God bless. And then Friday is Family Friday. If you have a message to the families of Project Die Hard, reach out. We will talk. There's so many ways people can help. But yeah, that was for our discussion tomorrow, Santa, on all the opportunities people get to help us bring hope to veterans.
Yep, absolutely. You're going to like my videos. I do a daily video every day, and it's about bringing up cheerfulness and happy and positive memories, and get out of the house and put the phone down and go look at nature and see how much you'll smile. every day I do that.
Yep. This is why none of our facilities will ever be in urban areas. We go to the rural areas because nature is a healer. Okay? But logistically speaking, rural areas are what we call resource deserts for veterans. That's why our facilities will go into rural areas to service the veterans that don't have the opportunity.
Yep.
So Santa, if we got the wheels spinning of folks out there about this Santa program, this is a wonderful Santa experience. How do folks find you and be able to talk to you like we have been, Santa?
Well, it's santapapajohn.com on all the social media, and I'm on about 8 different ways, so I'm pretty easy to get a hold of. And just because I spend half the winters and half the time in the North Pole, I do have a summer cottage in Minnesota, so I'm not that far out. And I have family in Minnesota, so I like to spend time in Minnesota. And I'm not that far out of Minneapolis, so I will definitely be after our conversation, Brian, I will be more than proud to share this wonderful platform with all my people. And if I can stir up some donations for you guys, and we will figure out a way on other ways that Santa can help your wonderful organization.
Oh, brother, thank you and God bless. To all the Santa followers, I got one way you can help us immediately because you're going to follow Santa. Go to YouTube. Find our YouTube channel because you can find this all the time. This segment right here, this whole thing. Subscribe. Look, folks, I'm going to be honest. We hit 1,000 subscribers. YouTube starts paying Project iHeart. See how easy it is to help?
Yep, absolutely.
See how easy it is to help. Actually, my brother Dave is just back in. He just subscribed today to our YouTube channel. Right? I'm talking with him. There's some things working there too. But the more people that share our mission, and I'm going to beat up Kurt, and Debbie's heard this enough too. God has the person out there that can fund this whole mission and not want fame or fortune above it. Right? They just haven't heard of us yet.
How much is it?
Say again?
How much does your mystery person have to have? How much moolah?
Just to complete the main building on Firebrush is going to cost $900,000. And that's using volunteer labor, donated materials.
I just subscribed.
Thank you and God bless. That's the best way we grow is people sharing our mission.
Yep.
Because look, folks, I've said it a lot of times in our meetings and on this podcast. My marketing people beat me up. When do we get an operating budget? You don't. We will not pay for commercials. We won't. social media is it. They're out there. I can't tell you how many emails I get every day. Pay us this much and we can get you in front of these many people. Thank you for the offer. How about this? Why don't you do that and we give you an in-kind donation receipt so you can write it off on your taxes. See? Yeah, please don't get me on my soapbox.
Oh, I know. I fully understand that one. I see that.
Yeah, there are so many ways people can help. All I got to do is say, I want to help. And then we put them into the volunteer pipeline. And then people do what they can do to help the mission. Kurt can attest. We had it in a meeting the other week. Do I ever tell you, Kurt, do I ever tell you you have to do this?
Nope.
Can you do this? That's all I ask.
Mm-hmm.
Things were working. I know in his email there's something. Did I not give you all the tools you need to accomplish what I'm asking?
And then some. Oh, yeah. Plenty of resources, plenty of info. Yep. Everything we need and more.
Again, if you want the ins and outs of the mission, reach out. Join the leadership team. But Kurt and Sue can attest it's a wild ride.
Yeah. Well,
Did you expect any? If it was easy, it wouldn't be a challenge.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah.
All right. Well, we got Brothers of Area Vet MC. Yes. We'll be talking to them. There's some things in the works. Remember, though, the big thing is fill the can challenge. Tell everybody you know. Enter, enter, enter. It costs you nothing to enter. And you can win one kick butt trophy that you get to display in your establishment for the next year. That's what the Die Hard team is focused on right now, our annual fundraiser. What time
So,
is it?
folks, it is 7:23, so we're 53 minutes into this. I want to make sure we get that request out there, that everybody that is catching this conversation, to share this out on your own personal social media profiles and cross it all over to the other social media profiles that you have. And please help us in making those that you're connected to aware of these shows. This is how we do a little bit more of getting our objectives out and finding those people we're talking about that can help us get this mission moving forward. I can introduce. Here we go. We got a comment here. I was just reading it. We'll show it here so everybody can follow. I can introduce on volunteer page. So there you go. We've got a volunteer page.
Yep, Project Die Hard volunteers. It is a closed group. It's not a public group. There's a reason. When you get accepted to that group, we put things on there for our team to do.
Yeah. So, Brian, do we want to go around?
Okay, I got to get off a little early.
Oh, you do? Okay, thanks, Debbie.
I'm going to sign off. My daughter and son-in-law are coming back tonight in about an hour from a 6-week vacation. So I gotta help clean up the house here.
Okay.
Thanks,
All right.
Deb. Talk to
But
you
thank
soon.
you for having
Thanks,
me.
Deb.
Yeah. Yes.
We'll talk to you again soon.
Talk to you soon.
Yep. Take care.
Yep. Okay. Bye, Brian.
So do we want to do a couple minutes of messages to our veterans out there, Brian?
Yeah, go ahead, Santa. If you got a message of hope to my brothers and sisters, lay it on.
Well, all I can say is, it always gets darkest before the light, and just remember to keep the shiny side up, because there's always people out that are going to be willing to listen to you, willing to talk to you. Don't ever think that you're alone in the mission that you think you're on, because there are people out there that do love you, that care about you. And if you flip the coin, they're going to miss you dearly, whether you think about it or not, because people do care about you. They love you. And don't ever forget that you're not in this past mission, if you want to call it a past mission or next mission. I guess it would be next mission, because some of them can't forget they're still not on a mission. And we love them, and we love you guys. And Santa's got your back now too. And the wonderful work of this organization, I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to be proud to be part of this mission. And I think there's some good positive hope. There's some great leaders. I'm looking forward to meeting some of the other uh, ambassadors that are helping you do this wonderful work, Brian. And you've started a great mission. And the mission is only going to go up from here. And remember, we need as many hands to help with the little parts of the mission to make it a big success. How's that? Does that work?
Works great for me, brother. Uh, my closing, brothers, sisters, don't give up. Don't give up. We need you. We need you. I need you. I need you to be here next Monday. If that gives you the hope to see a crazy old combat medic make a fool of himself, you got to be here next Monday at 6:30 p.m. because, hey, we're going to do it. But don't give up the fight, brothers, sisters. You made it through all that. You can make it through tomorrow. Kurt, to you. Take us out.
All right. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Santa. And we'll just get a little shout out there for Debbie again. And we're looking forward to having the return of my wife, Sue, again next week and ongoing from there. She just had a conflict of schedule for tonight. So we'll have Smiling Sue back. So it seems like we got this smiling theme in full effect. So, yeah, I became an ambassador here at Project iHeart because I happen to have been a guest on a live stream and was talking away and learned that Brian was also waiting in the queue to be on the live stream. And Brian has had me at hello. So I too can share my sentiments about everybody out there, and for whether it's those of you veterans or those of us that aren't veterans, to really get on this issue. And for those of you veterans that are in this struggle, I can't comprehend what you're going through. I hear a lot about it and have a lot of stories told, like Brian's story and so forth. And I'm just in full appreciation for everything that you have done. Look at that. My dog Minnie is speaking up too. So basically, the idea is, time. Time is tough, isn't it? So, some people say a day at a time. Well, sometimes looking ahead, the day itself is a tough one. So the hour, 2 hours, 6 hours. We heard earlier here, how to eat an elephant, one bite at a time. So I guess that's where I'll leave it. The appreciation of time, and hopefully we can navigate time to keep on going, keep on plugging along, because we definitely want you to be a part of this mission for a long time to come here at Project iHeart. So thanks, everybody. That'll do it for now. Until next week. And stay tuned for all of our activities through our social medias.
Ho, ho, ho.